Okay guys, so this morning we are going to do, there's quite a few back stretches, but it's going to be a really gentle flow, and there's no standing poses or anything like that. So just come to your mat. We're going to start in child's pose. That music might be a bit loud, sorry. Okay, so we'll just get ourselves ready. So just come to the mat and we're just gonna sink back into a nice child's pose. So big toes together, bring the knees out wider than the mat, sit back onto the heels and stretch the hands forward. When you're here, just drop the head to the floor and relax. And I just want you to take 3 really deep breaths here. On every exhale, relaxing further into the pose, and just kind of bring your mind to where you are and let it know we're going to be relaxing for the next half an hour and just really start to arrive. Last breath. And I want you to walk the hands all the way over to the left hand side. Drop the head down and we're going to stretch the right hand side of the body. We'll just take one more breath here. And then we'll come through center and stretch to the other side. One more breath here. And we'll come back to center. If you feel that your bum is really stuck up in the air and not really relaxing onto your heels at all, feel free to put a blanket or a cushion or something on your heels just so that you can relax into the pose a bit more. What I want us to do now is come back to center, stretch the arms forward, and we're going to rest the forehead on the floor. Then from here, we're going to flip the palms to face up and just feel that stretch in kind of the shoulders and the triceps. From here, you're going to bend your elbows, so bring your hands to prayer. Bend your elbows and pop them behind your neck. What we want to concentrate on in this position is we're really trying to open up those shoulders. So you want to nearly walk the hands towards the top of the mat and stretch them there. Sorry, I keep coming out of the pose so that you can hear me. So pretend your elbows are trying to get as close to the top of your mat as you can, so you feel that stretch in the back of the arms and down the lats as well. Lovely. We'll take one more breath here. And then we're going to come up slowly to tabletop. And I want you to kind of crawl into the middle of your mat. And then you're going to sit back on your ankles or heels, whatever you want to call it. So just come to kneeling. And what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called a baby camel. So you're going to stretch your body up tall. Pretend something's pulling the top of your head. I've got a bun in my hair, so pretend something's pulling my bun, and you're just going to bring the hands behind you, so keep them nice and straight and lean backwards, so you're pushing the chest up and leaning back into the hands. From here, you want to lift the hips up as high as you can. You can walk the hands in closer to help get those hips up, and just drop the head back and let it hang there. If this is too intense, guys, I just want you to come up onto your knees, put your hands on your bum as if they're in your back pockets, and I just want you to bend your back and let the head hang there. But if you can, palms flat on the floor, hips up, and let that head fall back. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. We'll take 2 breaths here. You'll feel the stretch along the quads, so the fronts of the thighs as well. Pushing those hips high. 1 more breath here. Slowly drop the bum down, and very slowly coming out of this position, back to kneeling. From here, just open the legs wide, and we're just going to sink back into child's pose for a moment. Lovely. We're going to come up to tabletop, and we're going to do our cat-cow. So we've all kind of done cat-cow quite a bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to inhale, lift the chin up, push the chest through, let the hips drop. And as you exhale, round everything and tuck the chin in. So what I want you to do is, in your own time, I want you to take 5 breaths here. So as you inhale, you're going to push into cow, and as you exhale, into cat. So 5 breaths. If you want, you can follow me, but see if you can do it in your own time. Last breath. Good. Okay, what we're going to do next is we're going to turn onto our right hand side. We're going to keep the right hand on the floor, bend the right knee, and put the left leg straight. And we're just going to do a side plank here. So we're just going to bring the hand up high. Don't panic, Niamh, it's not tough. Hand up here, and I want you to just concentrate on keeping the hips up. So you're not just like this. I want you to push them all the way up and feel that stretch through your hip and up into your kind of side body. Let your gaze go towards your hand if you want, or you can leave it looking to the floor for more balance. We're just going to take 3 breaths here. Excellent. We're going to come back down. Oh, let that head hang as well. And we're going to turn over to the other side. So left hand on the floor, left leg bent, right leg straight, and just open up. Let that hip really relax. So pushing up, but let the hip be soft, if that makes sense. And gaze towards the hand. Again, so your right leg isn't supposed to be strong. You're not holding that leg. You're just letting it stretch out. And we'll take 3 breaths here. Relax the shoulders. Last breath. Lovely. Come back down to tabletop, and just let that let your back relax as well here. So don't have it completely flat, don't have it arched, don't have it anything, just have it in its neutral position. We're going to come all the way down onto our belly, and it's really nice to just lie on your belly sometimes. So just let the hands lay beside the body, palms facing up. And you can drop your forehead straight onto the floor, or if you want to change it to the right hand side or to the left. We're just going to take a few seconds on each side. So I'll tell you when to change sides if you do have your head to one side. Lovely. Change over to the other side to give that neck a bit of a stretch. And just keep completely relax the shoulders, relax everything in this position. Good. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going into a Sphinx pose. So that kind of makes it easier to think of what position you want to be in. So your arms are bent, your fingertips are facing towards the top of your mat, and I just want you to pull, so everything's flat on the mat and you're kind of arching your back, chest up, and I want you to concentrate on pulling your elbows towards your body so you can feel that stretch in the back. We're actually going to take 5 breaths here, and I just want you to concentrate on keeping the legs pressed into the floor and pulling the elbows towards the body. So 5 breaths. Ears away, shoulders away from the ears. Push through the forearms. Last breath. Good. And we're going to come out of our Sphinx pose, and we're going to push ourselves back up to tabletop. So plant the hands on the mat, push through up onto the knees, and then you're going to be in tabletop. So I want you to bring your hands in under the shoulders, so a little bit narrow, and then you're going to take your right foot and just bring it out wide. I might turn this way for this one, it might be a bit easier. So coming out wide. So you don't want it miles up here, just bent and like in line with your hands. Push the chest through. What you're going to do with the back leg is you're just going to let it fall. So depending on what sort of a stretch you want, you can let that right knee fall out to the side, push the chest through and keep the arms strong. So you should feel the stretch in the left, like the inside of the left thigh, and as well on the right thigh. Chest through, head up. We're going to take 3 breaths here. One more. Good. And then we're going to push back, move our bum back, and we're just going to straighten out the right leg. So I don't know if you can see, you want that right leg straight. Move your hands to wherever feels good, and just bringing the chest towards the floor to intensify that stretch. Let the toes come up towards the body. We'll just take a few breaths here. Excellent. And then we're just going to come kind of into the middle and slowly bring that leg back around into tabletop. We're going to do the same on the other side. So guys, even if you can only get your foot to here or something, just use your hand, open the body. It doesn't have to be graceful getting from one position to the other. Just make sure you feel comfortable in it. So out to the side, and then you're going to drop the back leg. Try and really just deepen that stretch. Chest pushed through the arms and gaze looking slightly up. So you can move a little bit in this stretch to find where you want in your hips and in your thighs to open up. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. Excellent. Then we're going to move back, and we're going to let those toes come up and just feel that stretch in the hamstring, so in the back of the leg. And we'll take 3 breaths here. Excellent. And come to like a comfortable spot. Let your hands move and maybe lean to the right hand side to let that leg come back around to tabletop. Once we're back in tabletop, we're going to do pigeon. So we've done this one a few times before. So what the best way I think to come into pigeon from tabletop is to just lean forward and bring the knee up, and then you're going to move your ankle and foot across so that your foot is parallel with the top of your mat. If it's too intense, let it drop back there, that's no problem at all, but if you can, bring it up. Pop the hands back in front, and if this is enough, the left leg is going to be long, push your chest through. If this is, the intensity is good here, 100% stay here. If you want, you can come down onto your forearms, or if the stretch is feeling really nice, you can come down to sleeping pigeon, where you just come completely on top of the leg and just relax into the pose. If you go down to sleeping pigeon first and you find it's too intense, come back up onto the forearms or come back up into half pigeon, and it works the other way as well. If you start up too high and the body relaxes and it feels good, feel free to move through the movement and drop down. So wherever feels good, we're going to take a good few breaths here. So you just do your own breathing and I'll tell us when we'll change. So deep breaths in, lengthening the spine, and as you exhale, just falling into that position more, melting into your mat. We'll just take 2 more breaths here. And then slowly coming back up and tucking your left toes, push through the hands to let that leg move out of there into tabletop. We'll just drop down into child's pose quickly. Then we're going to come up, back to tabletop, and we're going to switch sides. So bringing that shin parallel with the front of the mat. If you want to stay here, that's absolutely fine. Push the chest through. Just make sure you're feeling that stretch in the outside of the left leg and the inside of the right thigh as well. When you're ready, you can come down to your forearms. And if it feels good and you really want to intensify that stretch, come all the way down to the floor. And just try and concentrate on the area that feels tight and relax into it and breathe into that area, trying to loosen those muscles. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Excellent, guys. And very slowly, we're going to come all the way up. And rather than tucking your toes, we're just going to lean into the left hand side and just come to a seat on your mat. So I'm just going to face towards you guys so you can see. I think it'll be easier to demonstrate it this way. Okay, so when we're seated, I just want you to let your legs go long, move around on your bum so that it feels comfortable. If you've got a yoga block or anything, you can just sit on that to really lengthen the spine. Pop the hands down by the sides, roll the shoulders away from the ears, and just sit tall. We're just going to take a few breaths here. We'll take 1 more here. Good. What I'm going to do, I don't know, I think you already know this one, but it's just, we're going to take our right leg and we're going to bend it and put it across the left leg. When you get to this position, I want you to put your right hand nice and close to your bum, and then you're going to like lengthen through that arm, keep the spine up nice and long, and we're just going to twist to the right hand side, looking over the right shoulder. If you want to move the arm away to intensify that stretch, the right arm, feel free, looking over that right shoulder. Good. And we're going to come back to seated position, legs long, readjust on the floor. Then we're going to bring, the left leg over the right leg, and you can hug your knee with your right arm and twist to the left. Or else what I do sometimes is I put my elbow on the left hand side of my left leg to push that knee away and to really just lengthen the spine and deepen the twist. Looking over our left shoulder this time. So left leg bent over right leg, turning to the left. Two more breaths here. Keep that spine nice and long. Good. And we're going to bring both legs forward. Okay, what we're going to do next is we're going to bring the soles of the feet together to intensify the stretch. Bring them right into the body. If it's too intense, bring them out further. What we're going to do first is we're just going to move our bum cheeks out of the way into a position that you can really sit back into your seated position. So you don't want to kind of be off to one side, you want to be nice and grounded. You can just hold on to the ankles with your hands, and if it's enough, just push the knees out of the way to feel that stretch on the inner thigh. If you want, I want you to inhale and push your chest through, and as you exhale, come forward into this position. And we'll take 5 breaths here. Every time you inhale, you're going to lengthen, and as you exhale, you're going to fall closer to the floor. So 5 breaths here. Lovely. And then we're going to slowly come back up. Excellent. And we're going to put the legs out long. Putting your hands under your knees. So again, inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, I just want you to come forward. So you're not trying to touch your toes. You're trying to hinge at your hips and bring your chest and your nose towards your knees. So you're kind of stretching the lower back rather than the hamstrings. So just inhale, and as you exhale, coming closer down. And we'll just take a few breaths here. One more breath. Lovely. We're going to make our way onto our back. Go this side. And we're going to just lay the legs long. Get nice and comfy. You're going to bring your right leg bent into the chest. Just give it a squeeze. And then you're going to push it across your body. Right arm out long. And look towards the fingertips of your right arm. trying to keep your right shoulder on the ground. Again, guys, if you're doing these stretches by yourself for kind of longer periods, feel free to put like a blanket or something under your knee so that you can just relax into the stretch more. Good, we'll take 2 more breaths here. Then we'll come back through. Lay that leg down. And then we're going to bring the left leg, bend it and bring the knee into the chest for a quick squeeze. And we're going to use the right hand to push it across the body, looking to the left. Go slowly, guys. Don't just throw it into that position. You might feel your back crack a little bit. And just let your gaze follow out to your left hand. You can also feel this stretch through like the left armpit, like stretching the chest. So that's normal as well. I'll just take 3 more breaths here. One more. Good. And then slowly coming back to center. We are going to bring the knees in, so we're going for happy baby. So if you want to just hold behind the knees, that's fine. What we're concentrating on here is just letting the back flatten into the mat. If you want to, hold the shins or the outsides of the feet. It's also good. We're just going to take 3 breaths here. Good. What we're going to do now, guys, is I'm going to give you a second. We're going to come into Shavasana, but we're going to do it in a waterfall position. So if you can, bring yourself to a wall, or if you have a chair or a couch or a bed or anything like that, get close to that, if that makes sense. So if you're at the wall, just put your legs up straight against the wall. So pretend my chair is the wall. Come in nice and close. Whoops. Come in nice and close and just let them rest against the wall. Let your palms come out to the side and open. If you've got a chair, oh, it feels so nice. If you've got a chair or a couch or anything, you want your legs to be on a 90-degree angle. So you don't want them up like this and you don't want them too low. So kind of sort yourself out and get ready for that. If it's not possible to do it in waterfall pose, that's absolutely fine. Just come to the mat, palms facing up, and relax here. And we're just, when we're ready, going to take a lovely big breath in. Fill that tummy up. And exhale. We're going to do 1 more of those breaths, and this time as you exhale, I want you to feel the shoulders relax into the mat, coming away from the ears, and the body just melt into the mat. So we'll inhale and exhale. Lovely. So from here, guys, I just want you to have your normal breathing. We're just going to do a bit of a body scan to relax the entire body. Before we do that though, I want you to think of your happy thought, your happy moment, or even a mantra that you want to repeat to yourself to flood over the body. So once you have that moment, that sense of joy or happiness or even calm, we're just going to begin to explore the body. So we're going to start at the feet with the toes. I want you to feel a wave of relaxation flood through those toes. If they're on the wall or on a chair, you can feel a slight tingling, which is absolutely fine. Bring that attention to the fronts, sides and soles of the feet. Let the warmth flood over them, relaxing the entire foot. Coming to the ankles, acknowledge their strength, but let them relax. They don't have to hold your feet up straight on the wall. They don't have to keep your toes up high on the chair. Just let them relax. Even let the feet fall into each other or apart from each other, bringing complete relaxation into that joint. Coming up to the shins, the fronts and sides, and the back with the muscle tissue, just feeling them melt into the surface that they're on. If they're on the wall, they don't have to be dead straight pushed into them. If they're on a chair, really just let them melt into that surface. Feel that wave of relaxation coming through the knees, almost giving the knees a hug of warmth, letting them completely relax and eliminating any pain in them. Coming through the knees and up to the thighs, the front, sides and backs of the thighs. The quads and glutes could be quite stressed and sore after a hard week, so just let that energy and warmth relax the muscles and flood the entire limb. Coming down to the bum cheeks, letting them relax, and bringing your attention to the hips and the lower back. I'm hoping that you're feeling the relaxation in the lower back from this position, and just enjoy that sensation. Let the warmth flood through that area of the body and really enjoy this moment of relaxation. Coming up to the belly and acknowledging all of the internal organs working away even while you relax. Feeling the breath fill up the belly and the lungs as you inhale, bringing positive energy into the body. Bring that oxygen into the body to run through the blood. As you exhale, feeling the rib cage collapse into the body and forcing that breath out. Coming all the way up through the chest to the collarbone and the shoulders. Taking a moment to just let the shoulders really melt into the mat and relax away from the ears. Let that warmth soothe and heal any pains or tensions you have in the shoulders and the neck. Really letting the neck relax. It doesn't have to hold the head in this position, just letting it completely melt into the mat. Bringing that wave through the shoulders and down both arms, through the forearms, the elbows, through the upper arms, the elbows and the forearms. Taking a quick second to acknowledge the wrists and the palms of the hands facing up. Are your fingers closed into a fist or are they open? There's no wrong and there's no right, just acknowledge what position they're in. Letting that warmth spread to the fingertips and then flood back up through the wrist, the forearm, the elbows, the upper arms, the shoulders and the neck, coming to the face. Just making sure that the jaw is completely relaxed and you're not holding any tension there. Letting that warmth come up to the cheeks, the eyeballs, the eye sockets, the eyebrows and the forehead. Flooding the face entirely and bringing complete relaxation to the face. Just take a moment to feel the entire body, including the skull and the crown of the head, completely relaxed. If your thoughts begin to wander, just bring them back to your breath. Don't force the breath, just acknowledge and concentrate on how it's working. When you're ready, bring some movement back into the fingers and the toes. Deepen your breath and start to bring the energy back into your body. Take 2 big breaths, fill the lungs and the belly up. And as you exhale, force out all that negative energy. 1 more inhale and exhale. When you're ready, come to a seated position and just take a moment here to bring yourself back to your surroundings. Well done, guys.